Hi guys, it's Kiyako here, back with another speed build. Today I'm building a bloody steakhouse. So what is a bloody steakhouse? It is not just a steakhouse that sells like super rare steaks. It is actually something a lot more sinister. It is a steakhouse that, you may have guessed it, actually serves people, which is kind of actually really disturbing and kind of gross the more that I think about it. But let's just like ignore like the gore factor here and just like think about it conceptually. I just thought this would be a really interesting like spooky month Halloween idea, like this restaurant that like peddles that it's selling like steaks. It's like super upscale, super rich and fancy, but really they're just like serving, you know, humans. And in this universe, it's like super tasty and super delicious. Everyone's like, wow, this is like the best steak I've ever had. And they don't know what they're really eating. Or maybe like some people do. I kind of had the idea that maybe like the super rich, like wealthy elite, like really like this steakhouse because they know they're eating people and it's like a weird, like rich person's delicacy or something. I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit too messed up, but let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any, you know, headcanons about this particular universe, which is obviously very horrifying. But yeah, this was a really interesting, fun build. You guys may have sensed some inspiration here if you're familiar with the musical Sweeney Todd. It's one of my favorite musicals of all time. I love the stage version. I love the movie. Highly suggest checking it out, especially if you're a fan of musicals. It is more of like a gory, scary, bloody one compared to a lot of other musicals, so just keep that in mind going in. But that was kind of an inspiration because in that musical, basically, there is a pie shop that sells like meat pies. It's a very long story, very complicated. I don't want to get into the whole thing, but basically they're selling meat pies that have humans in them, and they're becoming very popular, making a lot of money doing that. So that kind of inspired this build. And originally I was going to build like a full-on actual like bakery, just like emulating the pie shop from Sweeney Todd, but I decided to do something a little bit more modern, a little bit more updated. Like what would happen if you took this particular concept and made it like a super upscale, like New York fancy, like high-rise restaurant, you know what I mean? I thought that'd be a very interesting take on it. And it turns out looking pretty good, I think. It looks like a very fancy, nice place. Definitely a place where I would go and eat and totally not think that I was eating people, but definitely has some sinister vibes that you'll see later on when we get to the kitchen segment. But right now I'm just doing the exterior. Originally I was gonna like build this like at night, as you can see, because I was playing a lot with lights. I do end up building this in like the evening time. I know that seems unimportant, but for me, like the lighting and the setting that I choose when I build really informs a lot of like the mood I'm going for, and it does actually affect my color palette as well, since the lighting kind of changes colors a little bit. So originally I was gonna have it at night, but I felt that the evening was a little bit more, I don't know, it was a little bit more of the aesthetic, just in terms of like the color palette and in terms of like eating dinner in the evening time. So I just went with this this lighting setting. But my color palette in general, we have a lot of black and whites. Inside we're gonna bring in some cream colors, we're gonna bring in some red, but only like hints of red. Like I didn't want to go like full on with the red, but I knew that I wanted like some sort of like rust colored red present, just as like a little hint at like the bloodiness and the the sinister methods of this restaurant. But getting into the concept a little bit more, I'm trying to figure out like how this is even happening. Like, is this like the head chef is like the one who like devised this and they're like keeping it secret and like only like a few people are in on it? Or is it like the manager is like, I don't know, like who is doing this specifically? I do not know. Let me know what you guys think. I feel like the chefs definitely have to be involved in the conspiracy since they're the ones like cooking the food. I don't know if they would like also kill people, and I don't know like how they would like find the people. I don't know. Like part of what I think could happen is they're actually like killing the people here in their kitchen, or they're like killing them somewhere else and then like transporting the meat to the restaurant. That feels more likely to me, that they're like transporting the already dead people here. This is so morbid, you guys. Like the more I talk, the more I realize how morbid the things that I'm saying are. But I don't know, we'll talk about that more when we get to the kitchen aspect of this build. Right now, we're just gonna set up the nice restaurant area. So the rest of the restaurant is like very normal. Like I said, it's very upscale, very fancy, because they want to attract very wealthy clientele, because I imagine that they charge pretty high for their human steaks. But over here we have a little bar area, because I feel like bars in restaurants just always make them seem more elevated to me and like upscale, I guess. Or I don't know, maybe just in this particular segment of the room, the bar just really fit in. But I use a lot of windows on the interior, which seems, I don't know, because I was thinking that maybe like rich people who come and eat here who like know that it's like people, like they might want to like keep it a secret that they're eating here in case it like ever comes out to the public that like this restaurant's like serving people. So I don't know if the windows are a little bit of a problem because it doesn't really allow for much like privacy. It's very transparent, but at the same time, like maybe, oh, you know, it'd be a cool idea, you know, maybe the chefs, like after they get like some wealthy clients here like a couple times eating their human steaks, they like blackmail them, like, we have pictures of you eating this human meat, like we have receipts, like blah blah blah, like you have to like, and they like extort them for money. Like maybe there's like a whole underground business of them doing that as well. I don't know. This build is super weird in terms of concept, but you know, it was very fun to put together. I always love doing these like spooky, I mean, all month I've been doing spooky builds, but this one is more on the gory, bloody side, but, you know, I don't know. Anyways, let me know if you guys have any more ideas for other builds I could do for our last week of spooky month, which is next week. Halloween is coming up very, very soon. I've mentioned this a couple times, but please let me know if you have any fun plans, if you have any costume plans, because, like, I love costumes, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like people are going to be so creative this year. There's so many things you could do, and I'm really curious as to, you know, see what you guys have in mind. For me personally, I still don't have a costume planned. I don't actually think it's going to happen for you. Like, the closer I get to the actual Halloween date, the closer I think, like, I'm not actually going to do a costume this year, which sucks. I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We will see. Nonetheless, I am trying to make some Halloween plans for myself. I might do some pumpkin carving. I might do some, like, you know, baking and sugar cookie, you know, decoration. You know, like how people make those sugar cookies and they decorate them like ghosts and pumpkins and stuff. I've never actually done that before, but I always thought, like, it looked really fun and cute. So maybe this year I will try to tackle that because I do like baking and I feel like that'd be very fun. So might do that. Definitely gonna watch some horror movies. I have been, like, all month, but I'm gonna have, like, a horror movie, like, marathon night on Halloween. So let me know if you guys have any recommendations for that. You guys have been giving me great Halloween movie recommendations all month, so thank you so much. I'm gonna make myself a list and we'll see. We'll see how spooked I get on Halloween. Other than that, there is, what was I gonna mention? Oh yeah, okay, so in theaters, there's a lot of movies coming out that I've been dying to see. And let me know if you guys are going to theaters or just at home seeing any new movies as well, because I think it's gonna be a great month, this month and next month, for movies. I'm a huge movie buff, so I'm just like super excited for the new stuff coming out. I'm very, in particular, excited to watch Last Night in Soho, which is, I believe, a horror movie with Anya Taylor-Joy, and I'm so freaking excited to see it. So let me know if you guys are planning on seeing that as well. What other, oh, you know what just came out? Dune just came out on HBO, I think. I might watch Dune. I've been, like, intending to. Let me know if you guys are gonna watch Dune. I've seen so many Dune memes, like, these past, like, couple weeks. Like, people are, like, trying to read the books now, and just, like, commenting about how difficult it is to read because it's so dense and so, like, convoluted. I've never read Dune. I have, like, tried to read Dune like a lot of people, where I just kind of, like, opened the first page, and I was like, nah. But I do believe that it's probably a very, very good book. I just have never been able to get through it. But let me know if any of you are Dune fans. Anyways, I'm just talking to get through all this restaurant building stuff. As fascinating and beautiful as it is, I'm really excited to get to the kitchen part, which is where we're getting to right now. So this is a relatively big kitchen. Basically, we have, like, this main kitchen area room, and then we have the back room, which is what I'm doing now. So the back room, as you can see, has some suspicious stains on the floor and some very suspicious pools of blood. So I imagine the back room is where they handle the human parts, where they, like, chop up the bodies and, like, skin the people. I don't know. This is getting a little bit too gory back here, but this is basically the room where it happens. This is where all the bloody stuff goes down. It's very intentionally like a back room so that people don't go in there. As you can see, there's, like, some bones, some skulls. There's a saw, which is really horrifying. There's a clock on the wall in case they need to check the time while they're committing terrible crimes. And then back here in the main kitchen, like, it's just gonna be like a normal kitchen. That room is basically like the place where all the horror is. There's not a lot of blood like anywhere else, and I imagine that's very intentional, you know, because this is something this restaurant needs to keep like super under wraps. So I guess like whenever the health inspector comes, they like, I don't know, they either clean up that back room or they just like lock the door and say, oh, like there's, I don't know, it's like a storage closet or something, I don't know, but they are definitely keeping it hidden back there. This kitchen actually looks pretty nice. I actually really like how the main kitchen turns out. But anyways, that is the build. Let me know what you guys think. I'm sorry if this made you sick to your stomach, imagining the steaks that people would get here. But I don't know, I had a lot of fun doing this. And as I said before, please check out Sweeney Todd if you are a fan of musicals and of horror in general. It's so fun. You could just watch the movie. You know, the movie is great. It's a great adaptation, I personally think. And yeah, and like I said, let me know about costumes, Halloween plans, anything at all. Please comment down below or join the Discord. Anyways, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.